As a young boy, I grew up in the country, and my parents didn't have a lot of money to buy us toys and such. Occasionally, we got toys. It wasn't always what we wanted, but we got them, but not nearly as many as more affluent children were getting. So I kind of developed a habit of making things to entertain me or to play with as I was growing up. And I started to use wire as my medium to make things to play with. And I was sitting thinking, I wonder if I can still do that. And so when I was a child, I used to pick up wire loose laying around on the ground. People had thrown away electrical wire, baling wire, and I would make animals, toys, or what have you. Well, I've gotten grown now, and I don't go around picking up baling wire and uh, electrical wire that has been thrown away. But I decided to go to my local Home Depot and purchase me some Lincoln electric wire, Super Arc, because it's a very pliable uh, wire and easy to work with. So I'm going to try to uh, recreate a toy such as when I was a child and growing up and didn't have one. And I'm going to start with this wire. I don't know that this shows up very well on video, but maybe you can see how thin it is. And my aim in this situation, I'm going to make, or I'm going to attempt to make, uh, a dragonfly. And so I'm going to start out here by first crimping my wire. I cut off about I guess it's about 3.5, 4 feet length of wire that I'm going to use to see if I can create this dragonfly. Uh, I'm going to start with the head here. I learned to I learned to do this to entertain myself, like I say, when I was growing up, because my parents couldn't afford a lot of toys, and so I would make these wire toys. I would make toys from milk cartons, trucks, and cars and such from milk cartons. Put wheels on them. I was very creative. I don't know that I could have sold them, but they entertained me. And so, like I say, I was sitting around just thinking, I wonder if I can still do that. As an older gentleman, I've reached my senior years now and thought I would just give it a try, see how creative I was, or I can be. As when I was young, I would make horses and dogs and things like that when I was growing up. And so uh, I'm going to start with the head here, and I'm going to do that by just twisting the wire in basic circles and see what we come up with here. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this, but we'll see. Okay, we started with the head. I don't know that you can see that. I don't know that you can see that, but That's what we got so far, and that's going to be our head. And we're going to take him back about 4 inches here. And we're going to make a tail. And then we're going to take our needle nose. I didn't have needle nose when I was a child, but we're going to start with the needle nose here. And then we're just going to wind that around gently as we go here. Looks like I'm getting all tangled up in my project, but we'll see what we come up with. Let's see, we're going to go around and around and around. We're going to do this all the way down to about, I don't know, about the 2.5, 3 inch mark, somewhere along there. I probably need a heavier material because I don't know that this material shows up very well on camera. But what the heck? We're going to let it, as the young people say, we're going to let it do what it does. Or they don't say does, they're going to do what it do. So you can get all tangled up in this wire if you aren't very, very careful how you go about doing this. I think I'd actually do better just to put the needle nose down and do it the way I did it as a child. But then again, I don't have the grip that I used to have, so maybe maybe I do need the needle nose. I'm not sure. Uh, I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this. We're going to work this down to about the 2.5, 3 inch mark. And then we're going to start shaping the body of the bucky part of the body of our dragonfly. I'm going to stop right here. Dragonfly is going to need some legs and some wings. So we're going to, at this point, go down and make a loop. Come back up. Wrap this around the original part that we were using as a part of the body. Then we're going to go up above it and make wings. I'm going to wrap that around. Going to come back and go through this part. Come up and make a wing for the other side. We're going to wrap that here. Right at the point divided. Now what this is going to be 2 wings and 6 legs when we have finished this. At least that's our intent. We're going to go through there like so. Going to go through the wings and make 2 more legs. And then we're going to come back up to the body again. Now we're going to make the 2 front wings. I find this a little more difficult to do as an adult than I used to find it as a child. Uh, I don't. That's not necessarily strange, I suppose, because I was doing it for fun then. I'm doing it to see if I can accomplish it now. And we're going to come back through these, which are going to end up being our legs when we finish this project. Back through. And then we're going to make our rear legs. We're going to run our wire back through our legs all the way through all 3 sets, all the way to the front. We're getting a little bit of a shape here. And now we're going to make our body, put some bulk, as it were, to our body. And we're going to just go from front to back. Over the top. And back over the top. You have to be careful with this because, like I say, you can get so so tangled up in your wiring, and it's relatively easy to do because the medium is not hard to work with, but it requires a little bit of concentration on your part. And then just from front to back, we're going to keep going through the legs, through the legs, all 3 pair. To the rear. And back to the front. Well, I'm actually still at the rear, but I'm going back to the front. Then over the top, back to the front. And I'm going to do that until the rest of this wire is used up. And when I get through, I hope we're going to have something that resembles a dragonfly. But we'll see. My patients are not as perfect now as they were when I was a child, but it's taking form. I don't know that you can see it because it's so difficult for the camera to pick up. But I hope when I'm done that you can see. And this is how I spent my time. A lot of my time. I was kind of a loner as a child, and again, my parents were uh, not that well off, and we didn't get a lot of toys. We got a few toys, but we didn't get a lot of toys. And so I spent a lot of time making toys. I was very good at entertaining myself. Probably should have been spending more time in the books, but I would entertain myself by making things, dogs, horses, cats, birds. Uh, I don't recall actually making a dragonfly as a child, but I made so many things. I don't know. Maybe I did. I just don't recall it right now. But that's what this project is attempting to do, to make a dragonfly. I was kind of set on this course because my daughter-in-law asked me to make her some dragonflies. And so that's what set me on this course. I'm practicing. Maybe we'll be successful. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. I hope it's we're almost we're almost done, and it is actually taking shape here and looking a little bit like what we set out to make, to accomplish. But when I get through, I'll see what you think about it. See if you think I did, if I accomplished what I set out to accomplish. It sure did. It sure did entertain me when I was growing up to do these things. But like I say, I never knew how other people would feel about it. It's just something I did to. Don't know how I started doing it. Don't know why. Well, I know why I started doing it because again, I didn't have a lot of toys, and so I made my own toys. I would make wood toys. I'd make all kinds of toys. Uh, I never lacked for imagination. And we just gonna finish this off by going back over the tail. We have a little bit left here, and so I'm just going to we'll go ahead and cut that off. Let's see. We're taking shape there. Now we come back and we make these legs. We're gonna cut off the bottom of these loops that I've made here. We got our 6 legs here. And gonna come down and crimp so that we don't stick somebody in the eye or have these stick an unsuspecting person. To make it a little safer, we're gonna crimp those feet, crimp those ends and make those into feet. That way it doesn't puncture. We won't puncture somebody that happens to pick this toy up because we always want to be safe whenever you're doing anything. Safety is always paramount. You don't want to pick that up and stick somebody in the eye, or some child pick it up and stick himself in the eye or whatever, and put an eye out. So again, safety in whatever endeavor that you are doing, safety is always a must. So we're gonna crimp these feet. Make them safe. Now we're going to bend them like maybe a dragonfly legs would be bent. The hind legs. The middle legs. Let's see, can you see him? What what do you think? What do you think? Does that look something like a dragonfly? What do you think?